It's being accused, as it has been since it began fighting back after the terrorist attack on it, now of war crimes. I mean, repeatedly, some people are using those words against Israel. But today, the news is being dominated by an airstrike that happened yesterday in northern Gaza in the area of a large refugee camp. They were targeting a Hamas command and tunnel network that, as far as I can tell, is not in dispute. It was right there. And the Hamas and related officials say many were killed and wounded. Once again, we have no idea what the truth is because Hamas is a terrorist organization, like taking your death numbers from ISIS. But undoubtedly, some number of innocents, or at least civilians, were killed. Israel's military says it struck them, including a commander who helped plan the October 7th terrorist attack on Israel. And also, they effectively targeted those terror tunnels right underneath it, collapsing them and bringing them down. Wolf Blitzer had an Israeli military spokesperson on and pressed him, saying, "You knew there were innocent civilians there." The IDF spokesperson said, "This is the tragedy of war. We told them, move south." And Blitzer said, "You decided to drop the bomb anyway." The spokesman said, "We're doing everything we can to minimize civilian deaths. Sadly, the terrorists are hiding among civilians." Ian Bremmer and others now all over Twitter saying it's a war crime, Mike. But this is a war crime, clear, plain and simple. Do you agree?
I want these people to hear this clearly. They can go to hell. Israel just faced the worst terrorist attack imaginable. We had over 1,300 Israelis murdered, 31 Americans murdered. There are over 200 hostages that Hamas still has. They kidnapped, raped, tortured, and murdered women, children, babies, the elderly, and the disabled. There is a report that Hamas killed a husband and raped the wife while they baked the baby alive in the oven. So I do not want to hear anything from any of these terrorist sympathizers. The only thing Gazans should be thankful for is that Israel has shown so much restraint, because Hamas is using Gazans as human shields. Hamas does not give a damn about Gazans. They're committing war crimes, and Israel is well within its rights, clearly within its rights to respond. And Gaza is lucky that Israel has not wiped it off the face of the damn map.
You know, Dave, it is a war crime to use human shields. Nobody talks about, they go right to, Israel. You know, they don't talk about Hamas's daily war crimes.
Exactly. And Megyn, I want to thank you and Mike for being so strong and combating this misinformation with facts. You've been doing it for some time now. You know, the death count was yesterday, according to Hamas, was 400. And now today it's 50. This is what happens when you depend on an international terrorist group for your facts, for your information. The numbers will get revised. And look, no one wants any loss of innocent life, Israeli or Palestinian. But you are right. When it comes to international law, there is an international humanitarian law treaty. Article 58A actually says that parties to a conflict are required to remove the civilian population, individual civilians, and civilian objects under their control from the vicinity of military objectives. So Hamas purposely locates their military targets under hospitals and in civilian areas. And it's Israel who gets blamed when they try to send in troops and do anything but have wholesale massacres. They try to target and pinpoint the military. And sometimes, sadly, the innocent Palestinians get to be casualties of war. And that's awful. And no one wants that. But that's to blame Hamas. Hamas puts them in harm's way. So if there is an international war crime, it's on Hamas, not on Israel.
I got to spend a minute asking about what's happening on the college campuses and, in some instances, public protests on the streets off of the college campuses. We played last week what happened to this Jewish student at Harvard as he happened to walk by the, quote, die-in that these pro-Palestinian students were hosting. It wasn't enough for them to host their die-in in support of what happened to Israel. They actually chose to harass this Jewish student. We played what we had of the tape, but now more of it from a different angle, and right before the piece we played has been released, showing them physically laying hands on the guy and attacking him. Watch this. Mike, we've seen them bring in the cops, consult with the FBI in Cornell, where that guy was just arrested. Some 21-year-old student was arrested for those disgusting death threats against Jews there, saying slit their throats. Turns out to be some engineering student. How about this? This is also a crime.
Yeah, I would say this. This is outrageous that it is just blatant open season on Jewish Americans all over the country, particularly on college campuses. And I would say this to the Biden Justice Department, to Kristen Clark, who is the Assistant Attorney General for the Civil Rights Division. Where the hell are you, Kristen? The Civil Rights Division has put out like 26 press announcements since October 7th, since Israel's most horrific terrorist attack imaginable. Not one of those, zero of those 26 have dealt with these clearly illegal, under federal law, it is illegal. These are hate crimes that they are targeting Jewish people around America, including Jewish students on college campuses. Not one statement has been put out on this by the Civil Rights Division in the Justice Department. Where the hell is the Biden Justice Department on these anti-Semitic attacks across the country, including on college campuses?
What about it, Dave?
Well, that video you showed was so troubling. That kid was not attacked because he was Israeli. He was not showing an Israeli flag. He was attacked because he was Jewish. And if the administration at Harvard, my alma mater, does not act, then shame on them, because anti-Semitism is thriving on college campuses. And it's in part enabled because of weak administrators who are so scared to stand up to thugs like this. That is outrageous, what you just showed. And as far as the Biden administration, look, I can't speak to Kristen Clark because I'm not as familiar with it as Mike is, but I can tell you that President Biden has really been strong. His statements have been 100% on point. He has shown his support to Israel since this has happened in such a strong way that it looks like he's losing support amongst Arab constituents in Michigan. It could hurt his chances for re-election. So I'm hopeful that cooler heads will prevail and we will stand with our ally, our only democracy in the Middle East, and we'll do it on both sides of the aisle.
The brand new Genucel 3 is finally here. It can make your bags and puffiness disappear, along with dark circles, fine lines, crow's feet, and firm up your eye contour area. And for the longevity of your skin, this is the first Genucel to provide instant hydrating minerals, so it feels just like a facial at the spa. The new Genucel 3 is included in the Genucel Fall Classics package at a crazy introductory discount. It includes Genucel jawline treatment for a firmer neck and jawline. You get the classic Genucel XV anti-wrinkle moisturizer and the vitamin C deep firming serum. It's like a free spa treatment every day. If you don't look 10 years younger and get compliments everywhere you go, you get your money back. So go to Genucel.com/MK60 for deep discounts on this amazing fall package, or just call 800-SKIN-211 now. And for results in 12 hours or less, Genucel's immediate effects product is included in this package free. Get ready now for your Thanksgiving get-together. Go to Genucel.com/MK60 now or call 800-SKIN-211, GENUCEL.com/MK60. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.